What's cooking? This is Gifty. Today is Ghana fish light soup. Let's get going. So here I'll be showing you all the ingredients that it's used in this recipe. Starting off with fresh ginger, Lima beans, 2 fresh tomatoes. Oops, bring it back. Prekese, I don't have the English name, but I'll find it for you. Onion, garlic cloves, about 5 of them. Scotch bonnet pepper, nice and spicy. Tomato paste, dry crayfish. Okay, it's very important that it's dry, but you have to wash it too. Some turkey, bones, a little bit of meat. Meat. This one here is goat meat, fresh. Very little bones in there because I'm serving it to my kids too, and I try not to have too much meat, bones in there when I'm feeding them. That is tilapia, and this is fresh mackerel. So I had 2 small mackerel, and I chopped them up into 3 pieces each. It's all clean, gutted, and everything. And then 2 dry herrings, 3 dry herrings here, and salted fish, which we also call it KOOBI. So these are all the different ingredients I have. In the other bowl there, I have some liver and turkey as well. This is the lima bean that is used. It's washed. First of all, you add a little bit of water to it. Then you put it on the stove to cook it until it becomes really, really soft, because you want to be able to blend it to get the nice paste into it. And when it's nice and soft, you can touch it, as you see here in the picture. Now I'm going to combine all of my spices with the ginger, the garlic, the onion, and the dry crayfish. Blend it all together. It's going to give you a very nice, if it gets too thick when you're not able to, just add a little bit of water to it to get the consistency. Some people like to add salt while they're doing the blend at this stage, but I do at a later stage, which you will see in the video. And when it's done, you pour it onto the meat, which is already on the stove now in the pot. Of course, pre-wash your meat. I always do that just to make sure it's nice and clean. And try to scoop everything out of the blender into the pot. You want to get all of the beautiful spice paste into it. And don't worry if there's a little bit left, you will still be able to use it later on, as you'll see, because we'll be able to blend the lima beans with the tomatoes along with the remaining spices left in the blender to still get all that flavor into our soup. Cover it up and then let it cook about 10 to 15 minutes. But before that, add a little bit of salt again. And this is how it looks like when it's fully blended. So you'll see a mixture. I use red onion. That's why it has a red color in there. But you can use any onion that you want. Some people use green. Now I'm going to add the tomato paste. I always wash the can because it travels from so many different places. And I just don't trust it. I always wash all my cans before I open it up. And then when it's done, open up the pot. You can see already simmering. It's very smoky. That's why you can't see it here. Pour in the other meats that you have, all of your other extra dry meats in here. I have the skin. I have the turkey. I have a little bit of burnt goat meat in there. I had a little bit of liver, a beef liver added to it as well too. So anything, I didn't add too much on it because that's not the main focus. I'm showing you the onion here because it's going to be added to it later. Now the paste comes in. Make sure you scoop it all out. One can of paste is fine because you don't want that particular flavor to overtake the soup. You just want to give it color. That's the purpose of the paste in here. It's giving a nice color to the soup. Mix it up. As you can see, it's very nice and steamy, so it's good, and you can't smell it yet, but as if you're following step by step, you should start smelling the herring flavor coming out. Now you can add the remaining onion that you chopped and put it in. So mind you, when we were blending the pepper, we had a little bit of onion in there as well. Add tomatoes. I slice them into 4 just so that when it cooks faster and gets soft faster. Cover it up now, just showing you how it looks before we do the covering. All the different colors. Oh, it looks good. Cover it up the pot, let it simmer again because we want to get the tomato nice and soft. And when you open it up and it's nice and soft, you can see it's still bubbling, and you'll see the tomato has become a little bit more cooked. The flavor is in now. So what we're going to do is I'm going to add in the dry fish in there, which is the herring, the KOOBI, and now the Prekese, which I don't have the English name in there, but it's a nice scented dry leaf that gives a really good flavor and aroma to soup. There's so many different benefits in using that particular product in so many of our cooking. Then you just stir it up again. And I'm going to scoop out the tomato. I'm going to add it to the now cooked lima bean that is soft in the blender. I'm going to scoop it all out. But I want to just show you how the tomato has become pretty soft. And it makes it nice and juicy when you add it in there. So even though we have the paste, I still like to add additional fresh flavor of that tomato in there. It's one of the main also ingredients of what it's considered light soup, because it's pretty light. Everything in here is light in terms of the ingredients, no heaviness. Stir it up a bit just to make sure that all the dry fish that we put in there is nice and soaked inside the sauce, sorry, inside the soup, and it bubbles with it. And this is how it looks once you blend the tomato and the lima bean, and I'm going to show you that. When it's done, of course, pour it into the pot. And then we're going to make sure we scoop everything out. It's hard sometimes to use a spatula or your ladle to get it out. So, of course, add water to it because it's pretty thick. Get everything out of it and pour it in there. Okay, now that it's there, we're going to add the fresh tilapia, which else has been cleaned, gutted, cleared, cut into 2 pieces, add it into the soup. Just give it a nice stir there. Then add in the mackerel as well. Some people like to sprinkle salt on the fish before they put it into the soup. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But in this scenario, I didn't put any salt on it prior to putting in there, because I'm already going to put salt inside the soup itself, and I'm trying to cut back on salt. But the fish itself, just the flavor alone is good. Okay, cover it up, let it simmer. It's a little bit high now, just showing you on the knob on the stove there. So that they put the heat higher, and now you can see it's bubbling really, really well. The fish has soaked in well. Let's give it a good stir and see how it looks. So stir it up. Make sure that all the meat is turned over. The flavor goes everywhere. You can smell it. You can taste it a little bit just to make sure it's great. And then by now you have your fufu made. So then you can add the fufu with the soup and serve. So it's now, I'm ready to share all the ingredients that was made in this soup for you. Screenshot, save it, and that's what's cooking with Gifty. Thanks for watching.